Hello and welcome to the Future of Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. Bet thumb. Bet what?
What?
I'm a bat that has a thumb. I'm a thumb that has a. I'm bet thumb. We've got Jordan Christensen on the pod.
How do you talk without a face?
Shut up. I am a puppet. We've got Cameron Mickle on the pod.
That's no moon.
Oh, sorry.
Let me hike these up.
Let me hike these up.
Better hike these up. And we've got Grant Mickle on the podcast.
I am your mother.
Oh, goodness. Guys, today we're discussing the Thumb movies, the Thumb Wars, Franken-Thumb, God Thumb, Titanic Thumb, Thumbtanic. I don't remember what it's called. And Bat Thumb. And I'm missing one. What am I missing?
Oh, look at all that loot. Oh yeah,
Thumb.
that's a lot of loot.
Let's split the loot. But again, okay. We could rank them right now because I mostly want to talk about Thumb Wars, Franken-Thumb, and Bat Thumb. Those are the three best. Do we agree that?
Yes.
Blair Thumb, and although the shark was really fun.
Yes, I did enjoy the Blair Thumb more now that I've actually seen the movie.
Yeah, you definitely should see Blair Witch Project if you're going to watch the Blair Thumb parody. Why would you ever? I don't know. Maybe Jordan's that way that he'll watch like a parody of a movie and be like, I don't get most of the jokes in here.
I love parody movies, especially growing up. Like, I mean, we watched all the scary movies. Yeah. Love
but
those.
Even like half of those movies we had already seen, though. We had seen most of the horror movies they were parodying.
It's true.
And we've got, did I mention Grant Mickle's on the pod?
Yes.
Yeah.
I already forgot I mentioned you, Grant. Guys, these movies came out in like 1999. They were written and directed by Steve Oedekerk. Oedekerk?
It almost sounds like Oedekerk.
Yeah. Probably no relation though, because it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
But Steve Oedekerk. What a ride! These movies are insane. We watched these growing up. I should preface, like, why on earth are we talking about these movies? They're not relevant. They're so weird, but like, we watched them all the time growing up. And we
even made our own chin movies.
And yes, we made our own chin channel.
And after a while, Ty's chin started to get red because I would have to rub it off, and then I'd draw new faces.
Yeah, you do all the takes, and then we didn't have an editor, so Jordan would have to record, and then we just wipe the face clean, draw a new face, reverse dialogue, and then the other character back, scrub it off. It was insane.
That's funny.
But good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Yeah, the chin, the whole it's so weird. And the Italian, I don't know what his name is. It sounded like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
All right, guys, what was it like watching these movies for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? I'm more interested on the rewatch because I can't point to any one particular time where we sat down and all watched these, but we did. So Jordan, how about you, man? Start us off.
Oh, yeah.
I know you brought these into our home.
I know. I don't know if somebody at church was talking about it or how I came across them, but especially growing up, like, I mean, a huge Weird Al fan. The scary movies were awesome. There's something about parody, and you can totally tell that's a big thing for people today too. It's just like, member berries. It's like everything you love, and then people just poking fun at it. I guess that's what like YouTube is too. Just a lot of people talking about stuff they love, like we are now. So I don't know. I don't know. There's things I still love about it, and I did actually
George's really selling you on it.
I did.
He's like, I regret my childhood.
No, I still enjoyed it. It brought me back, and I was surprised, and I was really enjoying it. But then when I showed my wife, she was just dead silent, and I'm like, oh, because she laughs at a lot of stuff. So I'm like,
obnoxious. These are insanely obnoxious, and they do not hold up well. I'm just gonna say it right now.
But I was laughing and I was enjoying it so much, so I was like, I'm gonna rewatch it again with my wife, and then Yeah, just
Stern watched it all the way through once. He's like, these are amazing. Honey, honey, you gotta watch this. And she's like,
Dude,
why are you showing me
Han
this?
Solo pulling up his pants made me cackle. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love how
It's
it was
like
an actual
it's
just
like
man.
an inflated, yeah, it's like a man's hand, but it's like some balloon or something. I don't know what practical effect he used. Was that a real butt or was that just like
I think
a
it was a
balloon?
real butt.
Oh, was it seriously? Because I thought it was like a balloon. Like
No,
it was like
it's like a real dude. And they
no,
just
I see his hand is real, but I'm pretty sure the butt is like a fake
maybe I don't
like
know, but
air bubble. I don't know how to describe it, but like
I was laughing at that.
it's like an airbag. Are you guys pulling my leg? I have to look up how that effect was which is silly now that I'm saying that out loud. But anyway,
How did you make this practical effect?
it is his real hand coming in. It but
I
I'm
just
pretty
have a
sure
lot of
it's-
appreciation for people that design all those cities and all the little tiny puppets and different things. So I there's a lot to appreciate, and so I guess I enjoyed it for different reasons now than when I did when I was a kid. So
Interesting. We gotta get Steve Odekirk or whatever his name is on our podcast. Why stop? Did he make his opus magnum with Thumb Wars and he's like, I can't get better than this, and he's like, I'm done making thumb movies. Like what happened?
I think his best is Batman.
Oh,
Batman.
Batman.
Batman
I
would
mean
be-
I
It's-
would say between
It's
Batman
definitely one A
Thumb
and one B.
Wars. Yeah, it's a close call between those two because they're so good. But how about you, Cameron? What was like watching these movies for the first time and then rewatching it for the pod?
Yeah, I mean, I probably watched like for the first time when I was like 4 or 5 and couldn't even process information. But
Few jokes went with the head.
yeah, rewatching it, I didn't realize it's kind of like Three Amigos, how many adult jokes there are in it. And then
It's true.
also how like I would say 40 to 50% of it just does not hold up well. But I was also pleasantly surprised.
Chains, get your change here.
I was genuinely surprised how like many times I was like,
Does
wow,
this life vest make
that
me
was
look
really
bad?
clever.
Sorry. You said held up well, and I was like, that's a perfect example. I was like, that's an insane thing. In Thumbtanic, he has an axe, everybody. For those of you who haven't seen Thumbtanic, he's just lobotomizing or amputating. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. No,
It
yeah,
kind of reminds me of Mel Brooks movies too, a little bit.
Yeah, there's some of that for sure.
But no, yeah, it was pretty fun. In Star Wars, I was really pleasantly surprised by some certain characters that I'll get into with my favorite like things.
Yes, Luke Skywalker, always complaining. Such a sissy.
What a whiner that kid is. You got to pee on your head, dear. We got Grant. What about you, man? What was it like watching it for the first time and rewatching these?
Like from my childhood, I don't know if I ever really watched all the way through any of them because a lot of it I didn't even like recognize, I think. And we just always like quoted like I think the best parts for sure. And so like that's just more nostalgic for me. So I think I laughed a lot at that.
Closer.
A little closer. A little closer. I probably should have entered the trench.
Yeah, so there's definitely parts that I laughed at, but like you said, there are some things that don't hold up at all. So it was still enjoyable to watch though for the nostalgia, I think. So
yeah, this was a nostalgia fest. So I gotta say, watching these, so for those of you listening that don't know, I had the entire Bat Thumb movie word for word memorized. I quoted it from beginning to end, every character, I did every voice. And one of our mom's biggest regrets was that she didn't film me doing it, but I'm really glad there doesn't exist a tape of me out there saying some of the stuff that's in Bat Thumb. Like, it's insane. But anyway, it's just funny now going back and watching this because I was telling
Holy
Jordan,
goat nipples, Batman.
Hang on. This is like my favorite.
This is my favorite part.
And then the part that made me cackle, Cameron, immediately after that, where he's like, "What about us?" Half of the people are like missing part of their faces. He's like, "I'm afraid all of you are gonna have to remain like that forever." It's gotta be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in any superhero movie, where they're just like, "Not my problem." It is so funny. Golly, and
Blow,
they nailed
fam.
Bruce Wayne.
Blow
They
like the wind.
blow like the wind.
This
Dude, I
does
think
have
it
the
was-
best quotes, though. I will say.
yes. This is the most quotable for sure. And then, but watching these again, like you guys said, they don't hold up. It was so weird watching these now because I'm like, half the jokes still went over my head when I was a kid, but I would quote things that I did not know the meaning of as a kid. And so it's funny to watch these again. And I'm like, yeah, my kids will not be growing up watching these stuff.
Well, it's kind of like YouTube before YouTube existed.
Yeah.
It's
like
so
this feels
fascinating.
very akin to, I haven't even watched all of the Annoying Orange, but like that terrifying face superimposed on an orange, it's just like that. Or the marshmallow
Absolutely.
one, the campfire where they're like melting all the marshmallow. It's very akin
Yeah,
to that.
me and
where-
Logan Qualo used to go home after elementary school and watch Annoying Orange on YouTube and just kill our brain cells.
There you go, dude. Just like
That guy's voice is so
dumb
annoying.
entertainment. And it's so weird too, because like I actually feel like some of the gags in both Bat Thumb nail like the Adam West versions of Batman, and some of it nails
Well,
even, like,
and Frank and
Tim
Bat
Burton's.
Thumb kind of nails Christian Bale.
Oh, he comes in and he just uses the fire extinguisher that freaking Igor had the whole time.
That he wanted to
did
use
nothing
earlier.
new.
No.
Yeah. No, we need to call like real help or whatever. Oh, so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because I thought Woos Bane was like, I thought it was the closest thing to like a Christian Bale, like when he was Woos Bane and not actually Batman. I thought he sounded a lot like Christian Bale. I was like, oh my gosh, they predict the future with this.
suave. Yeah. It's so
I'm
insane.
blonde, hot.
Your cat is calling you. It's Commissioner. It's his name. He's like, the bank's been robbed, Batman. Are there any women there? Yes. I'll be right over.
Most of the tellers.
Most of the tellers, yeah. I'll be right over. Oh my gosh. Are there any women there? This is so funny. Golly. Yeah, there's some amazing jokes. Yeah. So don't even get me started because it's all the quotes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's so many quotes. But it's so weird watching this again because it does feel like opening a can of worms where I'm like, oh, like I used to love these so much, and now I watch them and I'm like, they're just such a weird relic of like the 90s, man. 90s was such a weird time, right? Like we can all agree.
Weird humor.
Weird humor, you know? Like anyway, it's just such a strange thing. So I do want to know where you guys rank. Yeah, like you guys said Bat Thumb. So real quick, before we get into two of our favorite, which one would you rank? I guess I normally would say Bat Thumb would be number one as far as
I go Bat Thumb,
Thumb
and
Wars.
Thumb Wars, and then everything else.
yeah. I think Frank and Thumb would probably be third for me.
Yeah,
There's some
Frank and Thumb, Blair
amazing stuff.
Thumb, and then
And then Thumbtanic, and then
God Thumb, then Thumb
God-
Tanic.
Yeah.
You like Thumbtanic better.
I
I had a hard time laughing at some of the jokes. I'm like, oh, these were actual people that died.
but it just gets funnier with time, you know? Like
No.
it's like, how about we take turns on the door? I love it. He knocks her off. It's freaking hilarious.
Okay, that was funny because that's making
Everyone
fun of James
points-
Cameron.
Yeah, it's like why not let Jack have a turn? Is it my turn? It's like we'll take turns every hour. I
Yeah,
take
that's
first
right.
hour.
Can we take turns?
Bruce
Yeah.
does.
Every hour.
So funny. Anyway, yeah, guys, two of your favorite things. Let's hear it. Cameron, what about you, man? What are your two favorite things from any of the Thumb movies?
See, I thought Batman held up better. But what surprised me about
It's just
Star
more
Wars,
relevant, honestly, right? I mean,
yeah, and
Yeah.
what surprised me about Star Wars was Yoda. I was so not ready for that. I just like blocked that out of my memory. And
Dude.
so he's like, I'm a puppet. I was like,
I
what
am
the
a
fudge
puppet.
is- And then the fact that he was like speaking in gibberish of like doing the subject, whatever, like at the end, like doing like the whatever that type of dialogue is. I just was dying how they like only spoke in that when it literally was impossible to understand. I just thought
train
that
you will I? Train you I will. Yes.
I was just like, what am
He
I
had like this
watching?
creepy comb over too. He had like some hair on top that was like combed over. Yoda looks so creepy, dude.
Yeah.
We'll begin
Him-
your training.
Yeah. I love that too. Obi-Wan Kenobi at the beginning is like,
What?
all right, we'll just move on then. It's just like,
You know, to make it official. What official? Never mind. So creepy. Oh
And
my
then-
gosh, it's awful.
and then my second favorite thing is just like kind of the pokes at Batman, because I love like same thing, like Harley Quinn occasionally will do stuff like that, just like make fun of like just some of the logistics behind actually being Batman or whatever, and I just thought that that was really fun.
Cameron, Grant, how about you, man?
I don't know. There's not much to say. It's kind of just like more the nostalgia, I think, is like the best part for me. And then I just like how shallow entertainment it is. Like there's not real much depth to it. You know, so and it's not super long either, so it's like just a fun watch, you know.
Well, if you line them all up, it's like 2 hours and 54
I
minutes
mean,
of
that's
thumb
fair, but
movie.
yeah.
So that's it's quite long, if you ask me. But yeah, no, each of the
Yeah, but that's
thumb
all of
movies
them
are
though.
25,
Yeah.
20 minutes or so.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jordan, how about you? Two of your favorite things.
Well, watching this for the first time, I just like I enjoyed it so much. I actually was like, I want to start making thumb movies again.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
And then, like I said,
Funny.
and then after watching with my wife, it kind of like, oh, maybe I need like a check, like a reality check or something about what I enjoy.
Jordan's having his Ben from Parks and Rec midlife crisis. He's gonna make thumb movies, and then that's
Yes,
it.
Claymation, yes.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah.
laughing, and you're like, don't you find them funny? They're funny because it's a gimmick. Like it's not anyway. Yeah, it is weird too, because like there's some moments. Okay, like across all these movies, like again, I would love to talk to Steve Odekirk or whatever his name is, like what his thought process behind these particular movies. Like Star Wars has been parodied so many times. Like Blair Witch Project has been parodied a few times. Godfather is quoted and referenced in a lot of movies and somewhat parodied, obviously.
What do you mean somewhat? What don't you remember the guy with the let me take the cotton balls out of my mouth and he's still talking the same?
Mel Brooks, right? Yeah. But like, yeah, no, I guess I would be interested. Like, okay, you're hitting the nail on the head with Mel Brooks. Like, did he just because the Frankenstein movie, Young Frankenstein,
Yeah,
or
Young
whatever,
Frankenstein.
and so did he just like say I'm gonna make comedy movies like Mel Brooks or like parodies? Like I don't know. I'm so curious to know. And then Titanic. I guess these movies kind of were staples of the '90s, right? Like so he's just like take the biggest movies of that time.
I think you're overthinking it. He just like
But it's weird that he has like only 6 movies and it stopped. So I would be curious if he was just like there's no money in this, or it's like he grew up and moved on doing different something else with his life, right? What does he do now, right? I should look him up right now because now
he
I'm
did
like more
Ace
curious.
Ventura, Pet Detective.
He directed
Oh,
Ace
wow.
Ventura.
Yeah.
That's why
Wait,
it's such a
what?
masterpiece.
Wait, slow down. Okay, hang on a second. So he was a
Wow.
screenwriter for. Okay, so he went on to do like real movies. Then that's probably why. He's a screenwriter for
That-
Bruce Almighty. He was a director. One second. What did he do?
Sometimes you just have to like put your name out there, and this is how he got his name out there, I think.
He directed the Kung Pao Enter the Fist movie. Isn't that like one that you like, Jordan, or not? Am I thinking of a
No,
different
I
one?
think you like it.
I have never seen it. I've never
Oh.
seen it. I thought
I
that
think
was the...
you like it.
No, but he did When Nature Calls. He didn't do the first one.
Oh, I'm thinking of Kung Fury. I'm sorry, that's the one you like.
Oh yeah. But no, Kung Pao isn't the Enter the or maybe it's Shaolin Soccer. I don't know. There's like one of those weird parody Asian movies. Anyway.
Shaolin Soccer is great.
So anyway, I just think that's super funny. Yeah, so he did direct Ace Ventura, which is like the live embodiment of like over the top and wacky and zany. And anyway, yeah, he's a writer for Bruce Almighty. He's a writer for Ace Ventura and directed. It's just super weird. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. Like, just such a strange. He did the screen story for Cowboys and Aliens, which the more I think about it, I think Steve Steve Odenkirk is like one of the weirdest people on the planet. In his IMDb picture, he has a rubber chicken in his hands. He's such a goofy guy. Yeah. Just seems like Weird Al in a way. Wait, he has written and directed films that have grossed over 1.9 billion worldwide. Oh my gosh, he's like successful now. He's like, I don't even make dumb thumb movies anymore. Like I can do whatever the frick I want. This is so strange. Anyway, well, there you go. He's doing well for himself. He like just disappeared into oblivion. But yeah, I guess he's probably just taking his check and he's like, I don't need to make movies anymore, man. So, but guys, get into it, man. Just throw things out. You just gotta quote the movie, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say my
Because
second favorite thing is the quotes, and I was just excited to
Quotes.
talk about the quotes.
dude, Princess Bunhead, are you all right? We must stay and fight for the resistance. No, I will stay and be killed in your place. Good. He's like, I don't know why that's so funny. Like, just like not caring. Princess Bunhead is great. Cinnamon rolls. The stupid making their own sound effects with the lightsabers is great.
Yes. And I like it too that there's lots of crossover in his universes. Like Batman takes out a thumb saver, and then you got like
Yeah,
the
it's
one eye
ridiculous.
guy pops up in every single one. He's got these like
Yes.
little tiny things that he
Oh.
does. His-
Yeah, I almost feel like maybe to save on for budgetary reasons, it's like let's just use the props that we had in this one movie. Like I spent all this time making a thumb Batmobile, so might as well just have it in like the Franken.
I love that that's
movie.
what you come up with. I think of it like he's up there with all the other directors that, you know, they like Quentin Tarantino constantly using his red apple cigarettes in all his movies, and like
Yeah, like
all this
yeah, they're-
universe crossover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, Disney's doing it hardcore right now with all the what's it called? What do they got? Cinematic universe, you know.
yeah. It's making cinematic universes back in
The
the day.
thumb cinematic universe.
The thumb cinematic universe.
The
Because
thumbverse.
there's even the
DCU.
there's even the guy, the Italian guy from the God Thumb, and he's like, Dad, are you Italian? Yeah.
Yes. He knocked me down. It's like the most annoying character of all time. By far.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
cannot stand that guy, but my gosh, I was laughing a lot.
I know, it's so funny. Like there's times I'm like, oh man, this is annoying, but I can't stop smiling, and I was like enjoying every minute of it.
Don't even get me started. Yeah, okay. You want to talk about enjoying? I literally watched the scene. Oh, I forgot all
you
this.
you
The
sent us
angry
clips
mob.
of the angry mob.
The
That's right.
angry mob gets together like, we need to burn him down. We need to hang him high. He's like, hang who high? Who are we hanging? What's going on? Like the town commissioner has no idea why this mob is formed, and they're just like, we gotta stop them. He's like, who are we talking about? Who are we hanging? What's going on? And he's like, well, I don't know. But come on, are we gonna take this anymore? It's by far the funniest soundbite that I
Ugh.
feel like applies to so many people today. Like so many
Yes.
people are just angry and outraged at everything. I'm guilty of this too. And you're just yelling at the sky about like heaven knows what, right? You're just
Yeah.
like hearing that made me think of Dad too, with his like crazy tirades about politics and stuff. I'm like, just like, let's hang them all up. I'm so mad right now. Let's burn them.
I'm so glad you sent that video about, I watched that about No Country for Old Men, talking about just how this society is no different than back in the day. Like it's just so, because I
Kind
don't
of
know.
left field, Jordan. I
No,
love it, but yeah.
No, but just thinking about people always being mad and upset about like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's timeless. Everyone gets mad about something. But what makes it even funnier is like they don't even know why they're outraged. People are just waiting to grab
Yeah.
their pitchforks and torches and just
oh, it's like
tear crap
Network.
up.
That was great.
It's
I
a good
just,
movie, too.
but I love this because it
You're-
parodies.
Okay,
I feel
you've
like-
already mentioned two great movies that I would
No,
have
no,
rather
no.
have reviewed tonight. than
No, no, no,
some
no.
movies.
But I'm saying I feel like this comedy is actually a lot smarter than maybe we're giving it credit for. I think there's a lot of jokes in there that I'm like, okay, I gotta say, I'm
Jordan's
impressed.
trying to convince Tatiana, who's in the room with him. He's like, see, like, this movie is a lot more intelligent than we give it credit for, actually.
But
It's
Actually,
smart.
See, him looking up
comedy.
isn't. It's actually really intelligent.
it's very intelligent. It's funny because it's a hologram, and I guess
it
the hologram-
reminds me of Rick and Morty, where there's still the and fart jokes, and it also has, I think, pretty smart humor. Just saying.
I almost feel
Mhm.
like maybe thumb puns would get old, but like can't quite put my finger on it. See, there's a good one. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like a way in which there could have been more humor added because like to me sometimes I'm like they're taking too long with this scene. Like it's like move it forward. Like the Italian character is like it's my favorite scene in Frank and Thumb because it's so unnecessary and it's so annoying. He's just talking to his daughter and he's like, I am going to go in the house and make some pasta.
He play a patty cake with my daughter.
Daughter. Yeah, he keeps ending with and it is so annoying and over the top. And I just want to kill him at the end. I just want him to die. It's one of those annoying characters. Anyway, it's just super funny now.
And what's so wrong with the patty cakes? He pushing me down.
He knocked me down.
Kind of reminds me of like Mario. Like
he's this cartoonish Italian character with this ridiculous way of talking, and then his daughter doesn't speak anything like him. Dad, are you Italian? So stupid.
Just that she asked him that day, like she didn't know before or something.
Like,
just...
like in Thumb Wars, when he comes home and finds Uncle Ben, or not Uncle Ben, it's the Uncle Owen and his aunt, like their thumbs have been clipped or something, their fingernails have been clipped and they're dead. Like, I guess if a
they've
thumb
been
gets
clipped.
they've been clipped. It's like, okay, like see that was like a liberty that they took saying like, oh, they're dead. Like I thought that was like a clever moment where you're like, oh, okay. And even like the Princess Bunhead, like it's funny making fun of like the style because I don't know if I've ever heard that joke done before, but like literally just like cinnamon rolls on her head. I'm like, that actually looks just like Leia's hair. Like that's so iconic. And it sticks out like a sore thumb, and you're like, oh, now I can't unsee it. So every time I see Leia in Star Wars, I'm like, it's Princess Bunhead. Like I literally think that. Like it's pretty powerful, you know, like that. Yes, and it's the same thing with Batman. I can't unsee holy goat nipples bat thumb. Like every time I hear Robin
Blue Jay
in the old cartoon, Blue Jay. Don't even get me started on Blue Jay. One of the funniest characters. He's by far one of my favorites. He's like his like stupid hands in the air.
Well, because it's kind of poking fun at Robin a little bit, because I don't feel like a lot of people take Robin's very serious.
Dude, those tights. I mean, there's outfits of him where it's just a green Speedo and like he's got nothing on his legs, dude. And it's a weird. So I totally get the jokes behind that. But what makes Blue Jay so funny is that he's so useless. And everyone mocks Blue Jay for his outfit and his costume, and Batman like, but somehow like comes around to liking having Blue Jay there. I think, right? Like it's I'm not good enough. I've never been good enough.
That's true.
That's true. Now go home.
How do you talk without a face? Oh, and then I love the Rube Goldberg like trap, and then
whole contraption that'll kill it. That's a great Bond, Batman villain, all that stuff, right? Because that was the show, right? It was always like, oh, how will Batman escape? You know, oh, if I just reach my utility belt, I get this tool, and I'm kablamo, I'm out of here. You know, so
I'm naked. I don't know why that put a big smile on my face.
I love it too when Robin's like, he's like, I can reach your pants, Batman. He's like, no.
I just no, and the expressions are very expressive. It's very entertaining. Just
yes, the face
very dramatic. Yeah.
Yes, he goes all out.
Yeah, there's we're just dipping back and forth between the movies now, folks. Like there's no barriers here, but like I felt like with Star Wars there was more prop. Like I liked the incorporation of like a foot. I thought that was really funny, where like it's 5 different heads of all the different toes on the feet. I don't know why. And then like the upside down chin is Jabba. I'm like more body type humor to but like it works.
And getting creative.
A little more creative than
I don't know though. The C3PO R2D2 like scene, I was like,
relationship.
what the fudge?
Wait, the
is
scene are you
going-"
referring to when he's like,
A couple
he's like,
of
oh,
both
one thing
were,
led to another.
yeah, and I was like, what?
No, dude, they predicted the future, man. Isn't that Lando and Lando's bot? They get it down, you know. They
Yeah.
have a relationship or something.
They do.
I don't
Oh.
get it, but I mean that's really a thing. So they called it. Steve Odekirk is a fortune teller. Predicted the future, man.
Well, but it's
uh,
funny. He was making fun of that stuff. Now today they're trying to act like it's normal.
Yeah, they're like it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, other than going back and forth between Fat Thumb and Thumb Wars, it's been parodied so much, and I guess I would love to ask Steve Odekirk, like, why these movies? Like, does he absolutely love these movies, or is he contrarian and was like, I hate these movies, why are they so popular, right? Because
Or maybe it's just like, if you want to parody anything and get people to watch it, just do movies that everybody has seen.
everybody has seen.
Because then,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like they're the biggest ones that everyone is aware
It's
of.
just such an odd thing where it's
I like that you act like this is so strange. It's like people
it's a
do it.
weird-
There's
but
like
it is
millions.
weird.
I Googled, YouTubed Thumb movies, and there's a bazillion people have made. So it's like,
Really?
okay, perhaps it wasn't a bazillion. I found 4, and they were all made by Odenkirk himself. Yeah.
Oh, other people have made.
Oh,
Thumb
yeah.
movies.
Oh, I
But were
was
they
just
at all
scrolling through.
inspired by this, or are they just like thinking their idea is original? Like, are they doing their own thing, right? Like superimposing faces on their thumbs.
I don't know if they think
Yeah.
they're original, but I mean, is anything these days. But I think like me, I saw it. I was just like already my wheels were turning, and I was like, what videos can I make with thumbs?
Yeah, it does have like a Adult Swim kind of feel to it, right? It just feels like
Yeah.
a cartoon that would come on, and you're like, oh, it's this hilarious Thumb movie that parodies like really popular movies. It's just, again, it's just a very short run where it's
Well,
like
it's kind of like
6
Robot
movies.
Chicken. I mean, I can only watch so much of that before
Yeah, it
I'm
made me
like,
think
I
of
need
that.
I need a shower.
Dude, if you
I
watch
just feel
the,
dirty.
the unicorn episode had me, Grant, and Jake crying.
Yeah, Cameron and Jake still called that to today. It's so funny.
Yeah. He's like,
Oh my
we're like
gosh.
13 in the Hawaii hotel. Like, what the fudge am I watching? In Fairyland, you're not allowed to have little boy.
My goodness.
Funny, the illegal show. Illegal. Oh man, jail time forever created that episode.
Yeah, do you guys have a
That's
favorite character, the favorite Thumb actor? Because I feel like they use the same 3 or 4 guys. It's probably Steve Odekirk himself, and then like a few of his friends, because a lot of them are like the same characters. Like
I love when he
Franken
does
also
the
Fat Thumb.
like the sexy guy voice, because like when he's playing Bruce Wayne, or what is it, Bruce
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 Bane.
Bane.
Bane,
and Gotham, GAA Thumb.
and because he does a similar character in Gotham, where the guy comes in, he's acting all suave, and all the girls are in love with him. I just love it. And then he's like, "What's the matter with you?" And he's slapping him, and his hair falls off. It's great.
Yeah, then Yoda, or what's his name?
Yeah, I think Yoda was my
Or
favorite.
what's Chewbacca? What is he burnt? What was his name?
I don't remember.
Ooby Dooby Dooby Scooby Badooby. Hey, the silliest name in the galaxy. What's your middle name? Scooby Dooby. Ooby
Crunchy.
Dooby Scooby Badooby.
Crunchy.
Yeah, Crunchy.
He kind of scares me. Is that normal? Oh yeah, he used to do the first time too.
I also like the end. Like, it literally undercuts the whole point when he's like, use the tracking thing, Loke. He's like, what are you, crazy? He's like, that's high-tech technology. It's gonna help you aim the missile. He's like, I'm just gonna use my inner feelings. He's like, that's stupid. Use the tracker. I just thought that was really funny. Oh, and one of my favorite was the annoying guy. He's like, copy that, stray dog. I don't think I'm stray dog. Copy that. But Rooster, I don't think I'm Rooster either. It's like,
Like when he
you got
dies,
it, Nasty Butler, and he's like, I'm ending
Thank
this
you.
transmission. And then he gets shot and he blows up and he's like, thank you. And then yeah, the naked pilot was great too. He's like, yeah, thank you. That That's so great, dude. Yeah, all the dogfighting thing, the fists, or the TIE fighters or whatever. That's
And the "I'm Your Mother" was one that I remembered. I didn't know where it was from until we were watching
Yes.
this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's what it's from."
because he's always
I
flipping his
am
cape around. It's like
Your mother.
mother. That cadence, dude. Yeah. So stupid. And then when he gets knocked off, wait till your father gets home. What the freak? What is going on here, dude? It's so crazy. Oh, anyway. So
Well,
funny.
I think especially now, there was just jokes that I like really still loved, and then other times I'm like, ooh, that is cringy. So it's like it has an interesting like some I'm like, okay, these still hold up, but
Yeah, this is a tough recommendation. Like it's like I definitely you have
I
to watch
agree.
at least Bat
Bat
Thumb.
Thumb.
Yeah,
and
if you want to get a good
And
period
if you enjoy
Batman,
it or laughed at all in Bat Thumb, I would say give Thumb Wars a
Thumb
shot.
Wars a shot.
yeah.
Because I feel like those are the two easiest ones to just watch without being like, how long is this?
And maybe too, if you're a fan of those things, if you're more of a fan of Star Wars, or if you're more of a fan of Batman.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
lean into it. Yeah, if you like
Yeah.
seeing jokes of if you like your favorite thing in the world being mocked, yeah, tune into
Well, but sometimes like, if you love something so much, you're like, I just need more of that. And so if you've seen all the other content around that, then it's like, there's more.
Jordan's recommendation is just sitting there. Ooh. Smashes it. Bad pepper.
So yeah,
It's like maybe he won't kill everything. Or I can't remember what he says. Maybe he won't murder everything or so. Yeah, he won't kill. He's like, give him a turtle, give him a puppy, he just keeps smashing all these animals until there's like a huge pile of like animal guts everywhere. That's funny, dude.
Give me a hammer, I'll kill him.
That poor Igor, dude. He goes in, he's like, what brain did you get him? He's like, I can't read. Probably one of the funniest lines, dude. That was also Wayne's World, dude, with Mike Myers when he says, I never learned to read. That is just funny. Like
That's
illiterate
right.
people are freaking hilarious, dude. Charlie from It's Always Sunny, man. Illiterate people are like my favorite. And then like he goes in with fire and he's like whoop-de-doop-de-doo, whoop-de-doop-de-doo. He's like, you like that? He's like poking him with the torch. That's just so funny. Gosh. And then he like breaks free and he like instantly grabs the torch and like a flash. Not like song sets him on fire. He instantly goes up in flames. It's so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Yeah. Oh man. It's too good.
Do you guys recommend?
Wait, I'm not done with quotes.
Oh my gosh.
I have a question. Why do we all speak in British accents when we're from outer space and there's no Britain? He's like,
or not.
and he's like, what is it? Yeah, what does he say? He's like, you silly space wizardry doesn't scare me. It's like, so annoying. I love that they kill the annoying characters though. That makes it very gratifying. But oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
Yeah, just their disregard for human life is pretty great. Just like when he's like, hey, stop distracting me. And he's like hitting people on the road, Batman just plowing through.
Batman doesn't kill people, right? That's again what makes it so funny. He's just hitting innocent pedestrians and he has no regard for their well-being, like none. It is amazing. Amazing. Golly. It's so funny. The very beginning too. Okay. The best exchange of all the Thumb movies, though, is when Bat Thumb, excuse me, I misspoke there. Bat Thumb grabs this thug and he's like,
Oh yeah.
Tell your friends that there's a new bat in town.
We don't
And he
really
has
hang
his name
out.
written all over it. And he's like, well, tell who? He's like, your colleagues. He's like, we don't really get together, so we don't hang out or anything. It's really not that organized. And he's like, well, who can you tell? He's like, My
My
mom, I
mom?
guess. He's like, good. Tell her there's a new bat in town, and he has his name written all over her. He's like, "Ooh, I can't tell her that.
I can't tell her that.
Just tell her to watch her step, okay?" Throws him aside. He lands on his face, and he's like, "Hi, mom. Watch your step, okay? Okay, love you too. Bye." So stupid. But golly, that's like the best exchange of like how Batman takes himself so seriously, but he's a total joke. I quoted at the beginning too, like, I'm a thumb that has a bat. I'm a bat that has a thumb. I bet them. Just repeats himself. It's so stupid.
I love
Golly,
it.
but yeah, that's the best exchange that completely encapsulates Batman. You know,
And when he meets
the
No Face,
gravelly
he's like,
voice.
he's like, why don't you just turn up? I mean, you turn just why don't you just go to the police station and turn yourself out? Just turn in.
Turn yourself in. You need to turn yourself around. But yes, plenty of jokes I didn't understand, like Batman and Robin climbing up the grappling hook. And they're just like, he's like,
you're standing a little close.
You're a little close. And he's just like, ooh.
I don't know what
Kids,
it
if you're
means.
listening, yeah, you don't know what that means as a little kid. That's
Oh,
fine.
I don't know what it
means.
means. I still don't understand. It's just funny.
Do you want me to explain it to you?
Oh my gosh,
He
Ty, I think
clearly
you're
hits him
reading.
with his. That's what it
Okay,
is.
I don't think so. I think
He's
it's
standing to. They're climbing up the rope. He's standing behind him, and he's clearly like the exhaling they're doing is.
if you've
super
ever
rough.
seen like the old movies, like there's scenes of them like rope climbing together.
Oh, I know. It's super. Like it's funny
Wow.
because Robin is super, and it's funny because that's always been the joke. In fact, wasn't it Lego Batman that also did that or not? Like Robin was super or something. He was super. I can't remember which one.
I don't know.
But they've done this joke a million times. But yeah. But yeah, this was pretty early on, and Blue Jay is such a ridiculous character. Again, Blue Jay, not even Robin, which makes it funny too. Like his whole outfit is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. The banker going in, I'd like to make a deposit. He says this at a bank and she just slaps him. He's like, I'm sorry, I'd like to deposit money in your bank. Smacks him again. Oh my god.
I watched this Ty with Dad
So
Rich,
funny.
and that was the only part he laughed at.
I know, how many poor innocent victims did we make watch these movies? And they're just like, yeah, that's really something, Jordan, or that's really something, Ty.
Yeah, this was
Yeah, so
Ty's
pretty sure-
pick. So if you're mad,
Oh
comments at
no,
Ty.
yeah, but it's just so funny because like I had to talk about these movies again because again, as I'm getting older, the nostalgia thing is funny because I'm like, why did I ever think these movies were good? They're so silly, they're so ridiculous, and like I remember thinking like, this is peak cinema. Like putting a face on a thumb is like the funniest thing ever. Like it's just funny to look at. They're funny sounding. Even like his little videos before the movies start were super funny. Like he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Steve Oedeker," and then like he'd pull out his thumb and be like, "I met this little guy. He's really shy now," and he's like, "Hey, guy!" Like it's so weird. And he's like, and then he has like this video of him listening to like a monkey with a cymbal, and he's
I
like,
love that monkey.
nodding, and he's like, "I love that monkey." It makes no sense. I don't even know what's going on. It's just like this weird otherworldly thing that's going on. I just feel like I watched it as a kid and I'm like, it's getting ingrained in my brain and I can't process it. I don't understand what's going on. So anyway, refreshing to watch these again. They're absolutely goofy. They're so super silly. I can't take these movies seriously and I can't recommend them to anyone. But please, everybody out there, watch Bat Thumb. Look it up on YouTube. It's just the goofiest thing. Makes a total mockery of Batman and it's always relevant. They're always making a new Batman movie. So if you're sick of it all, it's a great parody, mocking everything from the villains to the costumes to everything. It's brilliant. So highly recommend it. But what about you guys? Any last things you wanted to throw out?
Oh.
Other than your whole collection of Thumb movies?
Ouch.
Shots fired. All right. Well, everybody, this is we end every podcast by showing movies that we've seen lately, movies that we're looking forward to. Cameron, let's hit your list of movies up.
All right, I got a ton, so I'm just gonna kind of blaze through them.
Blaze.
I've been watching a ton of cartoons, superhero stuff because Jordan bought a lot. So I watched Superman, Shazam, The Return of Black Adam. Watched 3
Well,
DC.
just rate them or what you
Okay.
liked it
Yeah,
or
you
recommend
can
it.
just like I'd be
I gave it
curious.
a 6. I watched 3 DC shorts. 2 of them were sick. There's the Spectre, Green Arrow, and Jonah Hex. Spectre's awesome. It's like this dude who essentially this lady or whatever like paid somebody to kill her. She was a gold digger and paid someone to kill her husband. And then what he did is he had her killed by the money. It paper cut her to death. It was insane. And
Dang.
then
Sorry.
and then
Maybe it was pulled off, but that just sounds really dumb.
it was
I'm
just
sorry. I'm sorry.
it was like a tornado of like all the money, and it just like sliced her up until she bled to death.
Dang.
Get sticky with Mickey.
And then
What
That's
is
from
that
Matilda.
from?
For use that.
Is that
can't remember.
Matilda?
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
don't, that brings me, that's traumatic, bro. That used to scare me. That
Dude,
scene
okay.
specifically.
Well, I just watched Matilda with my family, and yes, that movie's
Horrific.
incredible. But my daughter was terrified and uncomfortable. She was terrified of the
Understandably.
chokey, and I'm like, with good reason. She's like, she'll throw you in their closet with a bunch of nails sticking out. And I was like,
That's
just like-
choky.
I'll throw her in the chokey.
And
Freaking
then
chunchable, dude.
and then I watched
Unforgettable.
and then so those shorts I gave the Spectre 8, Green Arrow 7, Jonah Hex 7, and then watched Superman, Batman, Public Enemies 6, All-Star Superman 5, and then watched Justice League Throne of Atlantis 6, Justice League The New Frontier 6. The Wonder Woman was actually pretty solid. 8 is essentially like the original, like the live action Wonder Woman. This was obviously made before. It's kind of funny. I was talking to Jordan about this. Like every single one of these movies that I've watched, I'm like, oh wow, like the live action movie just literally copied and pasted most of these like parts of the short and made it.
And they should do it more often because they're great stories. More
Yeah.
likely to see 'em.
I'm like, oh wow, that's why Wonder Woman did so well, is because they copied it off of this one, because it's literally the exact same plot of
There is
Ares.
a cartoon of Batman and Superman basically fighting Lex Luthor and Joker. It's an amazing film. Just
Amazing.
saying.
Yeah,
And it was
what's
better than
called-
Batman v Superman.
and I-
Why did you
so-
say that name?
So the, no, the one.
Need I go further?
So the one I
Cheers.
watched, that was amazing. So Wonder Woman was
Peak
8,
cinema.
and then I
I can't
watched
stop
the
crying.
Death of Superman. I gave a 9, and I almost cried in it. Like it's everything Batman v Superman should have been. Because like when like at the end of the movie, I was like, when Superman dies, I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
Spoiler: Superman dies.
I mean,
Right
it is
away.
called it is called Death of Superman. So
No, you're right. It is funny that it's like called that, and you're like, the death of Superman. We
yeah,
told
but
you in the title.
and man, they know how to, in that movie, they know how to show like the power of a villain instead of just telling you he's one bad mofo. They actually show you just
I
Doomsday.
advise not crossing her. She traps the souls of the sword and the
Yeah.
sword. And the victim.
Exactly. No, but Doomsday just,
Good to know.
and it's so cool because
Good timing.
Doomsday is used as a weapon by Darkseid. Essentially, he's sent to eradicate all life on planets in order for like, then he comes and conquers and just essentially like repopulates the planet with his own people. It's insane. So he just essentially sends Doomsday to just wipe out every living thing. And
His
then
children go forth. my
and
children.
he's just wrecking the Justice League. Like he throws a car at Batman, and Batman like tries to dodge it, and it like hits his shoulder and dislocates, and so Batman's like running away for his life, like one armed. It's insane. So I do recommend that one. I watched Rear Window with Jordan, Tot, and Mom. That was a good one. That was the first time I had seen it. So
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
well, I
Dude,
I
let's just
tried
say
it.
Worth-
that is the
worth a watch, yeah.
scariest lookup of any character in a movie, realizing because what a great way that was shot too. When he's like looking across, she's signaling to him across the way.
Oh
He,
yeah,
like, looks up
Butterfinger.
into the binoculars. It's one of my favorite. Seriously, that I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. When he looks up and makes eye contact with him across the way, it's so good. It's one of the
Yeah.
most bone chilling things I've ever seen. I
Well,
love
and
that.
Cameron rewound 2 parts. I just have to say really quick. The first part was when the girl stuttered, and he's like, "I think she did that by accident," and because it was one really long take, and so I don't know if she just said her line wrong or, but and then the second part Cameron rewound is when he falls from the deck.
That is
When he
the
falls out
most
the window or out the deck.
insane. That's some Scrooge level flying CGI. I was like, Yeesh.
No, even Scrooge was better. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, it's pretty bad. He's falling and it looks super.
It looks like
weird.
he literally looks like he's falling to the void of space, and he's falling like 12 feet. It's insane. And
Yeah,
then
it's
I
a pretty
watched
weird shot. It's a
and
weird shot.
Rear
I
Window. I
love it.
give it 8. And then Reign of Superman is the sequel to Death of Superman. It's all right. It's a 6.
Cameron,
and-
doesn't that shot though remind
Wait,
you of
Cameron-
the scene from Cobra Kai when he's falling?
Yeah,
I felt like they kind of mimicked that.
they kind of did.
Yeah.
I
just
feel
like
like
a
it's hard.
camera
I
trick
feel like
or-
it's hard to make a fall like that dramatic when it's like not super crazy, like high. Like
Mm.
just making it slow mo. I feel like it does the reverse effect. I feel like it
So
makes it even
Cameron,
cheaper.
who did it better? Did Disturbia do it better, or does Rear Window better?
I think
I don't know. I think there's a lot of aspects. I think it's hard because I feel like it's very like Hitchcock's type of suspense is much slower.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I feel like I was more horrified um in Rear Window where it's kind of like the Wait Until Dark, like the oh my gosh. Whereas in Disturbia, I was way more scared at different scenes. Like I held my breath more in Disturbia, whereas in Rear Window, I was like, oh my gosh! Like when he's just flashing him, I'm like, well, do something else. Are you kidding me? He's
no. Oh, Cameron, we were laughing really hard when
how
he
creepy
first.
he is.
Yes, when he first opens the door and he's like, "What do you want?" And he's just sitting there in the dark. Do you want? What do you want? Money? He's not silence, and he's just like his face is dark.
Yeah, James Stewart was low key creepier than the guy standing in the door. But then I also watched today. I watched Deathstroke Knights and Dragons. Super interesting. It's actually essentially is the entire season 2 of Titans show. It's interesting. I saw how they dragged that out into like from one movie into an entire series. I don't know. I'm just it blows me away how much people take from these movies and make it into like live action and so often just ruin it. I'm like, all I have to do is just copy paste and maybe add in one or two scenes. Come on. They're like, I'm gonna change this stylistically and then make it garbage. Oh, that's funny.
Nice. Wow, you have been a busybody, man. You're still not
I
done. Anything else? We're gonna run out of time here.
No, and then just looking forward to a double feature of Barbie and Oppenheimer. And then I'm also
a
halfway
double
through
feature. Oh my gosh, why? Don't watch them. Cleanse your palate.
Dude, Barbie
Ugh.
Barbie apparently is like gonna be similar to Truman Show. Like
Yeah,
like idea of like she doesn't know that she's like in a Barbie world or whatever.
and then Aqua
Oh,
starts
please tell
playing.
me. Yeah, I was gonna say, please tell me they're playing I'm a Barbie Girl
Come on,
song.
yeah, and Brian Gosling comes in. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Grant, what have you seen lately?
Yeah.
That's funny. I haven't watched much, but I watched The Giver yesterday.
Thoughts?
It was a good watch.
Isn't that like the disturbing ending with the baby thing? I was like, oh, this is disturbing. Something about like them
That's
brainwashing.
got the
her.
kid. That's got the kid from the space one that I love. What's it called?
Oh, The Signal?
Yeah, The Signal. Yeah. He's
Isn't
also
there-
The Signal,
also
really?
Nightwing and Titans. Yeah.
Don't they like
Oh.
kill babies or something? I swear there's something disturbing in The Giver.
Well, yeah. So the releasing to elsewhere is death to them, but they
yeah.
just call it something else, and then they don't know what they're doing because they think it's just like, oh yeah, this is a normal thing. Like,
I just remember thinking it was
Which it-
disturbing. I was like,
Did you never read the book?
well, yeah, because they kill if
Can't
there's
remember.
twins, they don't want overpopulation because every old person that is released to elsewhere of newborn is like replaces them. So there's never too much population. So if there's ever twins, they take the heaviest one,
Hmm.
and they, yeah. Anyways,
Discard.
and then
Other.
yeah. So then I watched on Sunday a Gen Z reaction video or like documentary kind of thing of them watching The Chosen, and it was just like it was done by The Chosen production, and it was just really well done and just definitely worth a watch. So
That is pretty telling when you're like, look at the people watching this. It's changing their lives. And you're like, need we say more? Like, can I convince you
know,
to watch
yeah.
the show already? That's
like
surprising.
it's really
but-
cool. Well, and it's cool too that they included or at least like kept in the episode that there was like one of the kids was really not into it at all. Like he was open and honest about his opinions and stuff. And he was kind of like, yeah, it was like an interesting show, but it didn't really like do anything to me. But like just other people that had no idea
And then everyone fell
like
in
what
their
the
face
show
and
was
was
about
praying
and
for
anything.
forgiveness for him. They're like, please save his soul. There's no hope for this boy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just definitely worth a watch.
No, that's actually surprising because I thought you were gonna say like he was gonna be like, well, the show's not for me, but it was really good or whatever. Like it's like my favorite question when you go in for a job interview and you're like, what's your greatest weakness? And you're like, how do I phrase this so it actually turns out to be like a strength? You're like, one of my
I
greatest
know, right?
weaknesses is that I work too hard.
hard.
Am I hired yet? I work too
I'm
hard.
too
That's my
much of a
greatest weakness.
perfectionist.
I'm a perfectionist. I
work.
work too hard and I prioritize my job and responsibilities here at work more than my personal life. That's my greatest weakness. You're like,
So
you're
I'll go
not-
really quick. I saw The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and Seven. I did a double feature in the same night.
Holy cow, those
You
movies
need
are
help.
heavy.
It was
Those are
amazing.
heavy movies, dude. You
help.
need to
So good. David Fincher, you're amazing. After
need to
watching Seven, I
excise
was
the
like,
demons.
I have to watch another one of his movies. They're so good. And then I did 12 Monkeys, and I actually really liked it on rewatch because the first time I watched it, I didn't like it much, but now I like love it. I don't know what it is. I
Is
just
this
think
your
it's so
second
good.
time rewatching it? Because I've always
Yeah.
mentioned 12 Monkeys. You know how much I hate that movie.
Yeah, I know, but I rewatched
liked
it knowing that I didn't like it the first time, but I'm like, why do people love it so much? And so I watched it again. I'm like, it's really
You're
good.
blowing my mind. I thought you liked it. I didn't know that you didn't like it either. Because
Wasn't
No, I
really crazy
definitely
about
don't
it, and because
I don't like
similar reasons you've already talked it to death about not liking crazy people, but
cringe. It's cringe.
I love it, especially because I know Terrence Malick's, I think that's his name. No, Terrence Gilliam or whatever his name is. His filming technique is very like in your face, like obnoxiously so. But after kind of coming to terms with that, I really love it, and also I just miss young Bruce Willis. And then I'm gonna do a double feature. I'm gonna go see the new Evil Dead and Beau is Afraid.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's so funny. Everyone's gonna go see. I want to go see Renfield with Nicolas Cage, the vampire movie, and I want to go see what's the other movie out right now? Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Does it look good?
Drew said it was really good, but Drew does
Yeah.
love D&D, so
I've never played D&D, but like, okay, I just sent you guys a scene from it. It's only like a minute long. It's Chris Pine interviewing this dead guy, and he has 5 questions. It literally made me laugh out loud.
I've seen
Like,
that. It's funny. Yeah, that clip.
Okay, so if the movie's like that, I'm totally for it. Like an
Yeah, me
action
too.
comedy that looks fun. I've reviewed some of the best movies out there. I watched
But
Truman
we'll make it
Show.
quick.
I watched No Country for Old Men.
it-
Everybody that's been Future Hidden Movie Gems, leave us an email, futuremovies@gmail.com. We love you so much. I'm back though. Goodbye.